It was all Al Gore's brainchild, a way to make money while instilling fear into the most vulnerable and sensitive.
Uh-huh.
The famous polar bear on an ice cube floating around. Remember that?
Yes, yeah.
It wasn't an ad for Fox's glacier mints. I could smell the rotten fish when Gore declared that because of the melting North Pole, the sea levels would rise and everywhere would be flooded, creating havoc to the world. Then, of course, he bought a seafront property. And he bought this mansion in Montecito. Not a very wise choice for somebody who was on about being washed away by a tidal wave.
Mm. Yes.
But carbon trading started to make money, so other big names jumped on board. Bill Gates, George Soros, the usual players,
Yeah.
and a boatload of political leaders who were going to make money because their countries were to receive compensation from major carbon producers, all funnily enough from the rich Western nations. Barack Obama entered the fray just before he too bought a Seaview property in Martha's Vineyard. So that must be a trade. It must be something
Yeah.
they do.
Yeah.
Then the windmills were made and the solar panels were produced, and that's when the real money started pouring in. Renting land from gentry people for more than they could ever dream to have, other people supported the idea.
Mm.
Of course they would.
Yeah.
Make loads of money. Except for Lord Monckton, who did his homework and did his level best, bless him, to say that global warming wasn't a thing, that it was merely a cycle of the weather, very much like a sunny day between 2 days of rainfall. You know, it's going to come around. He was soon stifled by the rich and famous, who were all vying to be richer and famous as a rat, more famous.
More famous, yes, yes.
When the talking heads claimed the science is settled, which in itself is not true, as science is never settled.
Yeah.
The conversation began to change from damage to the ozone layer to economics and how many nimble fingers would be needed to employ to make the millions of solar panels to be placed on swathes of arable farmland, thus reducing the ability to grow food for the masses. Right? So they changed the tune from the world is going to be destroyed to look how many jobs we're creating.
Mm.
Right? So fast forward to today, and the meeting of heads of states and loads of civil servants for some reason, far too many to be declared by His Majesty's government for this year's COP30 climate free for all.
Yeah.
All the British usual suspects were there: Starmer, Miliband, and for some reason Sadiq Khan, making the 12,000-mile trip for a one-day meeting. More time creating carbon than the meeting trying to stop it. You know, the mayor of West Yorkshire, Tracy Brabin, also went. Of course she did. Why not? We're paying for it. No. Starmer declared that he was putting the UK back on the world map by going to the event personally, which is probably nearer to the truth of his participation, to try and be seen.
Yeah.
However, the three major players on the world stage, namely the US, China, and India, sort of pissed on his Starmer's fireworks because they had more important things to do and stayed home.
Mm.
They didn't go. So basically, the participants of this year's COP30 would be the diehards and the partygoers who will always appear for a free meal or two.
Mm.
We can only guess from which group Starmer et al. Belong to.
Right. Okay. Okay, right. Okay. Climate change. I'm not saying warming anymore, because it's not. Okay.
It used to be.
Yeah, the icebergs melting don't raise the sea temperature. I mean, you can prove that in a small way of having a bowl of water and putting some ice in it, and the temp. Yeah, what could actually raise
Level.
the sea levels? Yeah, sorry, temperatures. The sea levels would be melting glaciers and ice on land that then runs into the sea. Potentially, that could do it. I'm not quite sure what statistics are. Now, my understanding of water around the world is it all rises at the same level. If that was a problem, there's still got levels. Forget erosion. Erosion's something a bit different. Erosion happens naturally, yeah, at this moment. But yeah, they've got markers, the stone markers and everything from 300 years ago that are not underwater yet. Nowhere near. But in fact, some of them are more apparent than they ever were before. Water will always find its own level to go to. Yeah, I mean it could be other factors, but yeah, I find all this very, very peculiar. I'm not saying humans shouldn't be responsible. We can't keep putting fumes and other things into the atmosphere, and science is finding a solution to this for this. Renewable energies. Again, you look at it. They sell the science as being something quite incredible. I've touched the industry. Yeah, I mean, if you can find it, I mean, it's crazy. Stop bringing oil out the ground, and then we produce these plastic parts for these renewable energy things. Where do you think the plastic comes from? And the plastic isn't recyclable, in a lot of cases. Yeah, I'm not saying yeah, maybe yeah. Why did they put solar panel on land? I mean, we've got lots of buildings. You could quite easily stick solar panels on the top of. Yeah, things. Yeah. I know.
Make money, sir. To make money.
Hey, I look at solution solving. I'm not here to look at the financial impact on these things. Yeah. You brought this up. I've worked in the wind farm. You go and put wind farms. Nobody wants wind farms on their backyard. You put them out at sea. Okay. And again, these things need servicing, maintenance. How do you get to them? Even if they're in the middle of a remote piece of land, you're flying helicopters in and everything else. Yeah. Then you've got to get the energy from it. Yeah.
I understand that a windmill
Mm.
has a very short lifespan.
25 years, yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And they need to be changed an awful lot, and it's very expensive to do so. And they can't even get rid of the old ones that have been taken down.
Yeah, they've buried them somewhere. I mean, I've been told that old photographs are getting technology now where they can be recycled or redone. I'm not, again, I've not seen the proof of it. I've just seen an article. You try and find a video of it where they show you actually recycling these blades. Yeah, I can't find it. Maybe somebody else can. Yeah, please post it down below if you can. It is a it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. I mean, I do sit there. It's like anything else.
Yeah. I mean, this whole podcast is exactly about that.
Yeah.
That it started off with Al Gore and his carbon credits, and charging countries to pay more, to pay money, and that's how he got everybody on board, because everybody was receiving this money, and it was all done for financial gain and not for what he said it was for.
Yeah, I mean, yes, and when you look at it,
still going on.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at it, the chief polluters in the world as stands, India, China, and the US, are not present. We buy our energy and we look into this as well. We buy energy saving lamps, not bulbs. I'm an engineer. Lamps from the store. Where do they come from? Invariably, China.
Yeah, there you are.
It's again, I think the air's got cleaner. I mean, the problem is, yes, there's economics there. We are destructive, but we have to heat our homes. maybe we can do certain things to limit the use of our destructive fuels. Like instead of driving to the shop that's 10 minutes drive away, walk there and be healthy. Yeah, for a couple of items.
That sounds really socialist.
Hey,
Really does.
I'm a problem solver. Socialism solves problems. Yeah, the idea is, yeah. I'm moving to New York next week. Didn't I
Oh,
tell
right,
you that?
please
Yeah,
do. Be
yeah.
well, you're well in on the. You're rubbing shoulders with the rich and famous there.
I'm going there as a consultant, on to live. Yeah, my rates are very good, Yeah. Um, but yeah, I mean, yeah, okay. What you know what I'm saying though. Maybe you look at your own. If you want to help the environment, maybe look at your own lifestyle a bit. Um, do you need to buy a new mobile phone every 2 years? Yeah, when you could last for 4 years.
Well, if you want to keep up with the Joneses, you do.
Well, I don't want to keep up with the Joneses. Yeah,
No, but people do.
yeah,
That's why.
I think they're pretentious.
So do I.
Yeah,
There you are. We agree on something.
yeah. I mean, I'm talking to you on a mobile phone that's about 3 years old now. Yeah, um, it does everything I need it to do.
Yeah, you're in black and white.
No, that's just my complexion. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, yeah. The sun's disappearing. I'm not getting enough sun because of all the global toxins in the blanking out the sun. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah, but these people want to stop the sun as well or something, don't they? So they're going to spend.
Well, the funny thing is that they say that if we don't look after the climate, it's climate change that they're using now.
Yeah.
And what we find is that people like Bill Gates are wanting to change the climate. So go to what's that one out?
Yeah. But hasn't he turned around last week and say it's all a bit of it's probably over exaggerated or something?
Yes, of course it, because he's probably not got any more money to make.
Yeah, and his cohorts have turned on him on it. Yeah, how dare he?
And
Yeah.
in the meantime, Starmer, he's still going to these things. He's not much of a party person, is Starmer, is our Keir Starmer, but he does like his free stuff. So I reckon he's there for the crack, just to have lots of eats and drinks and little gifts souvenirs that they give them.
Well, Starmer is that person that goes to a party that nobody wants to talk about to, but he's always seems to be turning up. You know, but
The only party that Starmer likes to go to is the Labour.
well, let's be honest about it. It's not the Labour Party of old, you know. But,
And we're not sure if the party Labour is wanting him.
hmm, yes. Yeah, that's something for another day. I
Well,
yeah, I just wondering if well, he's never in the UK for anyone to talk to. He's always going off onto somewhere else. I mean, he's in our country. He's in our backyard at the moment. Yeah. Um.
it's called making hay while the sun shines.
Yeah. Has he asked if he can come around for a cup of tea with you yet? Speaking of wanting free stuff or not,
Well, his number did show on my cell phone,
Yeah.
and I just ignored it. I
Yeah.
just I didn't answer.
Well, don't give him my cell phone because as I said, I said in my previous podcast, sort of the sight of him just drives me into some sort of weird traumatized uh
Want to say to him, there are no free suits here.
or Ukrainian males.